So on New Year's Day, I bought 40 pairs of sneakers. I'm going to show you guys what I bought, why I picked it up, and how I was able to get this many shoes in bulk on the first day of the year. First things first though, in my shoe room, I need to move all the shoes from the garage into here. So let's get into it. All right, so I just moved everything into here. It took me about probably 5 minutes, wasn't too bad. But you can see I got all of these shoes, 40 pairs from just 3 Hibbett stores. And I'm gonna tell you about the sale that they just had a few days ago. So on New Year's Eve, they ran a sale for 2 days where they're giving 50% off all clearance items at their store. And I wasn't the only person to cop and hit a bunch of shoes and buy a bunch of good deals. As you guys can see on my screen right here, I'll show you guys, I had a bunch of clients go and cook this. It was a pretty great deal. And I've never actually seen Hibbett really run anything like this frequently or recently either. So really, really great deal. The thing I think you're gonna love about this the most was I got 40 pairs of shoes for less than $1,200. Everything was ridiculously cheap. I mean, literally every shoe was around $27 to $30. You really can't lose at that price. And in case you missed this sale or you didn't hear about it, I actually announced it for free right when it happened inside of my free Discord server. If you guys want announcements like this in 2025 and want to scale your business, join for free down below. I'll have the link in the description of this video. But anyways, my plan was just to go to my local Hibbett stores and see what they had. And if you guys can see the videos I'm showing on the screen right now, they were actually giving me and showing me an entire list of all the clearance items they have. Now, I actually wish I sat there a little bit longer and looked through it a little bit more because there were some shoes where I just hadn't seen before. It was kind of hard to tell, and I didn't want to just go on my phone and look up every single SKU on this list. So I did wish I took maybe a little bit more time, but I'm really happy with what I got. There were some other deals again on there that I probably missed, but not a huge deal. So let's go through some of the best deals that I picked up. As you guys can see, I got a lot of stuff in bulk, like these blazers, but we'll go through them one at a time. So as you can see at Hibbett, they all had these sales tags on them. This one was originally $105. It was marked down to $52.49. And then I got an additional 50% off on top of that. So I paid like basically nothing for this shoe. Yeah, this shoe sells for a bunch more than what I paid. So this Vomero was in a really good size as well. And I got it for 26 bucks, which is just super cheap. I think these shoes retail sometimes it's like 180, 170. So, I mean, I've never seen them and I've never even gotten them that cheap before. This pair sells really frequently at around 100 to 120, depending on the platform. So that'll be a really easy profit once it sells. I was only able to get one. They only had one, and I'm not surprised because this was probably the best deal I got. Next were these Air Forces. I got a few pairs of these. I want to say 3 or 4. They were $30, as you can see. This was a good size too, size 11.5. I don't particularly love this Air Force colorway. It's not something I would wear. But I mean, for 30 bucks, someone's definitely willing to pay more. These go for around 70 to 80 bucks on average. I mean, minimum you're gonna make is $60. You'll double your money on each one of these. So very, very easy flip. The next pair I picked up were these Mint Air Forces. My guys have been actually going crazy for these inside of our group because we're running a challenge, which is basically selling your first 3 shoes on POIZON. And then we just gave away a Travis Scott inside of our group. You also get a free month inside of our group if you complete the challenge. Again, if you're interested, you can join the Discord down below. It's free. But this shoe specifically, we've been buying online at Hibbett for around 54 bucks. I just picked them up for like 30, so it's very cheap. But they sell all day for anywhere from $80 to $90 on POIZON. Very, very consistently. And again, this is a perfect shoe if you're trying to join our challenge and get a free month inside of our group. I mean, this is a great flip, and I love this one. Another thing I should mention, the reason this was on clearance is because it's also on sale online. So a lot of the shoes that you buy from these stores, think Foot Locker, Champs, Hibbett, whatever these are, they're just fulfilling orders that they already have in store. So let's say I buy a shoe online. You know, this shoe might be in stock at my local Hibbett, but it could also be in stock at a Hibbett across the country. Well, that's where they go and fulfill these orders. A lot of these smaller retailers. Unlike Nike, Nike usually has these big warehouses where they fulfill their orders from. A lot of these smaller stores will ship pairs that are in stock at stores, you know, to the customer. So I got 3 pairs of the mint ones and then 2 pairs of the other colorways. So the next pair, probably the weirdest, but honestly I really like this one, are the Adidas 4Ds. If you guys don't remember, I want to say 2018, 2019 when these first dropped, they were really taking over kind of the sneaker world. Everyone just thought like, dang, actually 3D printed sole is pretty sweet. This is when 3D printers weren't as capable. And anyways, this shoe retails $220. That's what it says on the size tag. So these were expensive shoes. I paid 44 bucks for this shoe. I know this is what the size is saying here, but they were like 95 and then, you know, marked down or whatever. So anyways, paid a really, really cheap price on these. They're not super consistent. This isn't a super fast selling shoe. But again, I got it for 44 bucks. It retails $220. this is a shoe that I can sell for 100 bucks all day. On top of that, I got 4 different pairs in different sizes. That's really important when you're reselling. A lot of these shoes, I tried to get different sizes, except for the Blazers. I mean, I bought a ton of them, so you have to get some duplicates. But on here, I got an 11, a 12, a 13, and a 9.5. And the reason I got different sizes is because, well, again, I know this shoe isn't selling ridiculously fast, right? It's not selling every second. But if I have different sizes, that means I only have to sell, one size each to sell them. And if I have it spread out over 4 pairs, it's just a lot quicker. That's why the same thing inside of our reselling challenge, we're trying to help people get their first 3 sales. I don't recommend they buy, 3 size 9s. Even though size 9 might sell super quick, they got to wait 3 times before that sells, right? Versus if they diversify, they list over some other, sizes, it's just a lot quicker. So I stopped by one Nike. I was really prioritizing Hibbett this trip because of the sale. Nike wasn't really having anything crazy, but I found this one good shoe at Nike. It was the only pair I ended up picking up, were these Nike soccer cleats. Very, very high quality shoe. And one thing I'll tell you, this is a big tip. If you see a soccer cleat with a silver box like this, that means it's Nike's high-end soccer cleats. They call them silver box shoes. They retail anywhere from $250 to I think $325. So they're very high-end shoes. And I was able to pick it up really cheap. It was 99 bucks. I got 15% off because, again, I teach those discounts for free inside of our course. I'm going to keep talking about it. But anyways, I paid 85 bucks for this shoe, and it sells around 150 to 200 depending on the size. And again, these are just high-end soccer cleats. Like, it's pretty easy to sell these shoes when they retail 300 bucks, and you can sell them for half off and make really good money. Last but not least, I got a bunch of Blazers. That's how you can tell, they're Blazers by this box. And they're good colorways. So white and black one, this is the original Blazer. You can't really go wrong with this shoe. They had these for 27 bucks. So 27 bucks out the door is what I was paying. I couldn't help myself. I got 27 pairs here, as you can see. It's just so cheap. It's very hard not to pick up a shoe for 27 bucks, especially when it's a high quality shoe like these. They sell on, depending on the platform, usually around 70 to sometimes a little low end, around 60 bucks. Maybe, the worst you'll get is 50 bucks. But again, you got to realize, like, if I paid 27 and I sell for 50, I'm nearly doubling my money on each pair. That's a very, very good flip, especially when you multiply that number by 27, how many pairs I got. You're gonna make a lot of money. So that's the key when you're buying in bulk, is not to look at, what the price you're selling it for. I know you can't compare this shoe to selling a Jordan Retro for 200 bucks. It's not the same thing, right? You're not gonna make nearly the same margin. But if you look at the ROI and you say, okay, wow, I'm making 80 to 150% on each flip, this is a really, really good shoe. Because of my experience with this shoe, I've sold tons of these in the past. I know this shoe won't sit for long. In fact, I literally had another client go and buy one of these the same day. I'll show you guys a screenshot on the here. But he already sold this shoe on Alias. So he had told me literally the same day or the next day he ended up selling the shoe. And it was the same shoe I bought because they sell so quick. I mean, this is a shoe that everyone wants. It goes with everything, and pretty much a no-brainer here. Now, one more thing. That's where capital comes into play. If you don't have the money to go and buy a bunch of shoes in bulk, you can't really make plays like this, especially when you're starting out. Like, again, they're 27 bucks each, but when you buy 30 of them, that can really add up. That's a lot of money. And that's where capital is important, because someone like me who's been reselling for a while, I can afford to hold on these shoes, sit on them for a while. I can have and play a different game. Right? I don't need to sell all of these super quickly. I'm really cool if it takes me even a month to sell, a few of them and double my money. Like, that's a really good flip for me. But if you're a beginner, again, this is why when we teach inside of our challenge, we want to get you shoes that are selling super quick. So you can get that first win of the year. You can actually feel like you're making money away from your job. So it's just a little bit of a different focus. But when you start to scale, again, that's when you kind of take a step back, start buying shoes that maybe are a little bit slower selling, or that you're going to just make more money on because you listed higher. All right, so how much profit I predict to make from this? I'm going to minimum double my money, because every single shoe I bought in here is going to be 100% ROI, if not more. Especially like on these Vomeros, I'll make probably 200-300% ROI. So I'll make at least 1,200 bucks from this entire trip. Probably more like 1,500 bucks once it all sells, because again, I'm someone who has patience. I have the capital, I can wait on it. But either way, really, really good haul. Can't really go wrong with this. Now, what I would recommend is if you're someone who's new to reselling and you wanted to get these sales quicker, right? You might not make $1,500 in profit like I will, but you can definitely make 1,000 or 700 if you bought the same shoes, but you just listed them for lower prices. For example, let's say, you bought 30 of these just for a whole number and you wanted to make $20 a pair on each of them. Well, if you just sold them for $47 profit, or 47 bucks after everything, that could be locally, that could be after fees, you would make $600 on 30 pairs. And you could do that instantly. I mean, that would not be difficult to wholesale these to someone for 47 bucks, right? I'm someone who wants to play a little bit longer game, try to get, 60, 70, $80 per pair if I can. And that's just the way that I look at it. So again, no matter where you are in the reselling game, you got to have a different mindset from, everyone else, and realize, again, depending on your capital, you might have to sell shoes quick. or if you have a lot more capital, you can, afford to wait. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Again, would love to have you guys a part of my reselling challenge, completely free. You get to compete for rewards, and you get free rewards for just completing our challenge. So check it out in the link in the description down below. I'd love to see you in there. If you guys have any questions, leave it down in the comments. Anyways, have a blessed rest of your week, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.